Hello, everyone. This is Sarah Corbett with the Student Spin podcast. Today is December 4th, and I'm joined by my awesome co-hosts, Kimberly and Austin. How are y'all doing today?
Doing good.
Good. It's very cold, but I'm doing all right.
Y'all ready for this semester to wrap up?
Yes, and it
Take
is
a break.
season.
With it being online, it seems like there's not really anything, because in person there's always something to do, but online I feel like I'm just waiting 2 weeks before I do anything again.
Right. Yeah.
The 6th class, I thought it'd be more, but hey, I'm happy about it. It's almost over. Gotta finish out strong.
Yep. Well, before we get started, I'd like to say that any opinions or views expressed here are not necessarily those of our sister production, the 6 Mile Post, or of Georgia Highlands. And to start off, I have some school news. So December the 7th, Bartow County Library System is doing a resume workshop from 4 p.m. to 5:30 p.m. If you are interested and would like to register, call the number 770-382-4203, extension 139, and that could be a really great opportunity if you are about to graduate or if you just need some resume help. I know resumes can be a little overwhelming, so that could be really helpful if you're interested in that. Also, don't forget to register for the spring semester. Classes are open for that. And speaking of that, GHC has introduced some new programs, including a film studies program, graphic design, sports management, and now a bachelor's in health science. So if you are listening to this and you're new to GHC, you're not sure what you wanted to look into, so those are some new programs to look into. And then last, the Charger Cafe hours starting on December 7th will be from 9 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. Monday through Thursday, and then the cafe will close fall semester on December 15th and will reopen for the spring semester on January 11th, 2020. So not a lot of news since we're coming to the end of the fall semester. Just be sure to continue to check your student email. That's where you can get a lot of this information that is needed. And then I think we're on to some local news.
All right, so ballot recount process begins in Bartow County. This is from the Daily Tribune. So Bartow County started their presidential ballot recount Monday, November 30th, and it was finished on Wednesday, December 2nd. The Bartow County election supervisor, Joseph Kirk, said that the goal of the audit was not to confirm the result of each race, but just confirm that we didn't declare the wrong winner. And Kirk said that we might see a small discrepancies in the hand-marked ballots with the machines picking them up sometimes and not others, he said. But overall, I anticipate having very much the same result at the end of the process. And I think Biden came out winning Georgia. So they did end up finishing the recounts in the entire state, I'm pretty sure. 2 Georgia nonprofit team up together to bring holiday cheer to thousands. This is via the Channel 2 Action News. So the Empty Stocking Fund and YMCA have come together to help bring holiday cheer to families in need. The Empty Stock Fund usually had up to 40-60 volunteers delivering presents and other necessities to families. But with COVID and social distancing, they weren't able to have that many people in a room at a given time together. They needed a new strategy. Instead of families going to Santa's Village, where the Empty Stocking Fund was located, they needed all the toys and gifts and families in one area inside Metro Atlanta. And so the YMCA came in and offered help. Bags will be packed, loaded, and delivered to 18 different Metro Atlanta YMCA locations and early education center locations. So that's really nice that people who are in need of help will get, holidays, toys, and food and stuff like that. So that's very, very nice story. Election day for Georgia's Senate runoff election is January 5th, 2021, and this is for who controls the Senate between the Democrats and the Republicans, and this is by WMAZ 13 News. The winner will immediately take Georgia's seats in the U.S. Senate, and the balance of power in the U.S. Senate is at stake, and that's currently split as 50-48 in the House, and is in favor of the Republican Party. And we have some key dates that I'm going to bring to you from the news site. So Monday, December 7th, 2020, the last day Georgians can register to vote in January runoff. You can register through the Secretary of State office website. If you're not old enough to vote in the November election, but will turn 18 by January 5th, you can register to vote. Monday, December 14th, 2020, Early voting starts and lasts for 16 days. You can find the times and locations on their website. The Electoral College will also formally meet to cast their votes for President and Vice President of the United States. This process was originally laid out in the United States Constitution and has been adjusted through 2 separate constitutional amendments. All right, so on Tuesday, January 5th, 2021, the U.S. Senate runoff election between Democrat Raphael Warnock and incumbent Republican Senator Kelly Loeffler to complete Johnny Isaacsen's term. The runoff election between incumbent Republican Senator David Perdue and Democrat challenger John Ossoff will also take place. And that's all I have for local news, guys, so we can move on from that.
And in world news, according to an article on BBC.com, Bangladesh is shipping Rohingya refugees to a remote island called Bhasan Char. It is about 28 miles off the coast of Bangladesh. The Rohingyans fled Myanmar after military crackdown began 3 years ago. So they have been living in Bangladesh in tent cities, and undoubtedly there has been some unrest. According to Abdul Momin, Bangladesh foreign minister, he says no one will be forced to go. However, the Human Rights Watch interviewed 12 families on transport lists that had not volunteered to go. They've also talked to several other families and different people that have said that they were forced to relocate to this island. When BBC reporters visited the island in October, they were denied access to refugees already living there. There are concerns that there's not enough medical care, hygiene and cleanliness concerns. If you look at a map of it that they have on the article, there's a flood barrier. However, a lot of the concern is during monsoon season, it tends to flood. They have hurricanes. So they're very worried that this is not going to be something that is safe. So a lot of these refugees are very concerned that they're going to be forced to go here and that they will not be able to leave. And I think Sarah has some good news for us.
I do, and it's actually also out of India via the BBC. A teacher in India wins the Global Teacher Prize of $1 million. And I had never even heard of this prize or any of this, but the Global Teacher Prize is a prize that is given out from the prize. It's a prize given out by the Varkey Foundation. And it's just to reward teachers who have not only impacted students' lives, but also the communities around them. And Mr. Desawali, who won this award, was praised for improving the education of girls in his local village where many disadvantaged children live. And he won ahead of 12,000 nominations, which is just mind-boggling. And then there was a ceremony where the top 10 finalists, they had a ceremony where the top 10 finalists were gathered. It was via Zoom this time around because of COVID. And when he won the award, he actually said he wanted to take half of his prize money and share it with the other top 9 finalists. So he said that because he believed together each one of those teachers could make a difference and make the world a better place. So each of those top 9 finalists will get about $40,000 because he is willing to share this reward with them. So I thought it was a really cool good news story on top of like a good news story. And yeah, it's something I'd never even heard of. So
that is pretty cool. I had no idea there was a Global Teacher Award.
Neither. It's a teachers can nominate themselves, but they are mostly nominated by students, those in the community. Yep. I've never even heard of it.
All right, on to music and movies. Austin, what you got for us?
Well, for music, I'm kind of listening to the same things, but the annual, I have Apple Music, so what they do is called Apple Music Replay, where they show what you've listened to all year. I know I think it's called Spotify Wrapped or something, and basically it's just a list of everything you've listened to this year. Spotify's is a lot cooler. They show up a lot more in-depth technology and stuff that you listen. They show a lot more in-depth information than Apple Music does.
Yeah.
But the thing I got from Apple Music was I've listened to 553 different artists so far this year. And I listened to a few hundred hours of music, so that's pretty cool. But other than that, I watched this show on Hulu. It's called What We Do in the Shadows. I'm not sure if I already talked about it. I might have talked about the second time we done the podcast together, but it's a show about these vampires from the 12th century, and their whole lives are, are recorded by a camera crew, and it's just a hilarious show. If you guys have Hulu and FX, go check it out. It's a hilarious show.
Okay, Kimberly, what are your music picks and movie picks?
For my music, I am totally in Christmas mode. I mean, it hits December 1st, and there will not be any other kind of music really that I will listen to besides Christmas music. My favorite that I replay every Christmas is the original Pentatonix Christmas music albums. So they have 2 or 3, I believe. Back when Avi Kaplan was with them, he was my favorite. He was a classically trained bass. It's not quite the same since he's left and they've replaced him. So I don't really listen as much as I used to, but their original stuff is just fire. It is awesome. As far as movie, my 10th grader brought this to my attention. So she was in a class at school and her teacher used this movie, a clip of it, to bring home a point or something. And I could not believe, and neither could she, that no one else in her class had heard of or seen this movie. It is Monty Python and the Holy Grail. If you have not heard of it, I'm sorry. I don't know what rock you've been under. If you have not seen it, watch it immediately. Immediately. It is extremely quotable. It is hilarious. It is probably the funniest movie I've ever seen. It's amazing. So if you have not seen it, go see it because, it's just intelligent comedy. It's hilarious. So anyway, that's my rant today. Can't believe people don't know about Monty Python and the Holy Grail.
It's such a pop culture, you need to have it in your.
You just gotta know. It's like Pink Floyd and the Wall. You just gotta know it.
You gotta know it.
If you've ever heard anybody yell, "Bring out your dead," you gotta know where it came from.
Wound, you gotta.
It's but a flesh wound.
Yep.
It's the funniest scene.
It is.
Love it.
It is.
So my movie, music, TV picks. So I watched The Crown season 4. I binged that in 3 days. And if you haven't seen it, it's awesome. If you like that kind of thing, if you love the royal family, this season introduces Diana. And if you're a fan of her, then watch it. But it's also very dramatic. And then for my music, just surprisingly, I've been listening to a lot of Macklemore. I don't know, I've listened to a few of his songs, but lately I've just been more interested in his stuff. But that would be my picks for this week. And I believe that might be all we have for you guys today. Okay, I think that is all from us. Thanks for listening, guys. We will be back on the podcast the 16th, and you will hear from us again. Hope everyone has a great finals week. Hope it
Merry
goes.
Christmas. Happy holidays.
Yes.
Yes, happy holidays, everybody. Have a safe time out there. Stay warm.
But that is all from us. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.